Well, Coasters, I'm at Mert's place, up on Cogan's Road. Now, it's the first time I've been here. Now, of course, I meet Mert's on a regular basis as he drinks those huge coffees at the Clock Tower Cafe, but this place is huge. I'm pretty sure there's the dog, so he must be around. Let's go and see if we can find him. You about, Mert's?
I'm here somewhere.
Oh, good man.
It's coffee time, is it?
It's,
well done.
Oh, it must be coffee time. This place is really impressive.
It is a bit impressive, I must admit. It's getting a bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
Could you take us around and show us what? I mean, I had
sure can.
I had absolutely no idea.
So this is our sort of new crop that I've been experimenting with over COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
This is mesclun lettuce growing.
What's it called?
Mesclun. This is what you have on your salads when you go to the restaurants, like stumpers who buy me product.
Yeah.
So we've got different stages of the growth, depending on when it's planted, of course. The ones over here are fully ready. I've been picking them this morning.
Oh, so they're these, except grown up.
They've grown up,
right?
Big babies. So they're about 4 weeks older than what these ones are here on the gully. Take about 6 weeks from seed to finish.
Oh, so it's not instant, is it?
Not instant. So this is going to be picked next week.
Yeah.
So this is your varieties there, and that's what they grow like. So it's root system. That's your grow wall rock cube, which is what the seeds are planted on, which is basically an inert mineral which just holds water, like sphagnum moss, for example. So that just sits in these gullies, and each one of these gullies,
and they're fed from this piping system.
Just a piping system with a little bit of nutrient.
Yep.
Which is basically your liquid fertilizer, which is running down there about 1 litre per minute, running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so the plants are planted out, and then they continue to grow until they're ready, and I pick that out, cut it off, job's done.
And so down the end there's the same, is it?
So that's the same. So we've got coriander over there, we've got baby kale growing there.
So that right hand side is coriander?
Coriander.
So you've got a fantastic crop here.
This is just one tunnel house of what, 5 or 6 that I've got, with another 3 on the go. But you can see it takes a lot to actually to grow. That would be only about 3 days picking there on that one bench. So I'm planting around 3,000 plants per week.
Goodness me, you're doing it by yourself?
By myself.
Oh, mate.
That's why I need a coffee every day.
I love it. Should we go and have a look at one of the others?
Well, have a look at one of the girls. I'll turn this fan, I'll just turn the fan off so it's not as noisy.
So Mertz, what's this one?
So this is basically our nursery benches. So when I plant the seeds, they come in, once they're germinated after about 4 days under grow lights, I put them onto this flood and drain table, which is basically waters them from the bottom up. So twice a day it pumps up with water, the nutrient, and the plants feed. So these are the rock wool cubes that I explained before.
What's a rock wool cube? What does it mean?
It's basically about 4 different silica minerals which are melted and then spun like candy floss. And it just means that you can grow in perlite, you can grow in gravel, sawdust, anything you like. And you see how the roots
Come
grow
right through there, yep.
And so this is your lettuce plants that I grow here, and these about 1,000 there per week, just of the lettuce varieties. And then the other 2,000 odd plants are mesclun. These here are different varieties of mesclun which all go together, you mix them up, and that's what you get.
So they're all lettuce, aren't they?
They're all lettuce. And these are cost lettuce seedlings here that are going to be planted out today.
Yep.
And these are the frilly green lettuce seedlings that are ready to go out today as well. And so once again, we've got more mesclun, baby kale, rocket growing here. We've got spring onions growing on the right there. We've got more parsley, Italian parsley, dill and fennel growing on that bench there.
Goodness me. This is fascinating.
And once again, it's the same system. 1 litre of nutrient down each one of these gullies is running back into the pump house, which we'll show you later on.
So how many years have you been Mr. Lettuce Man?
Well, I was in Preston's bakery there for 33 years.
Yeah, you were,
and then when we were made redundant from there, I actually brought the large tunnel house from Les Singer, who was growing it out of Hokitika,
Yeah.
and that was dismantled there for a couple of years. So when I was redundant, that's when we started with the large tunnel house, and then basically every year I've added to it and to it and to it, and now I'm working for a living.
I love
So over
it.
here we've got feather peas, your Fiji feather peas, which are a garnish that people like. They're just
So they're
germinated. You cut them off there, and that's it. They're chucked away.
so they're called a feather pea.
It's a feather pea, Fiji feather. It's just it's not really a normal pea because we're not growing a pod. We're just growing it to a sprout stage. So that's just cut off there, and then that's your little garnish you can see on top of your steaks, and that'll be a couple of little squares of feather pea.
Wow. Oh, but we better have a look at
Have a look at another one.
absolutely. Oh, look at this coasters. Now look, that's
This is a forest.
I could play tennis in here.
parsley.
So this okay.
That's your forest of parsley there. So that'll be gone within about 2 weeks. It'll be hammered. I'll pick it, and then it just grows again and again and again. Once again, we've got more mescaline growing here.
Yep.
This is a mix, an oriental mix, which is all mixed together seeds. It's red baby kale, which I put in for a bit of colour into the mescaline. And then the Mizuna and Bizuma mescaline, which is what these are here, baby kale. And once again, you'll see they're just coming on at different stages, because if you sell 1,000 plants a week, that means you've got to plant 1,000 plants a week, plant seeds. Then you move those to your flood and drain table. For your flood and drain table, they're then moved out to where they're actually grown to full height.
So what have we got here?
So this is last week's, I planted these out last week. This is all mescaline once again.
Yep.
Lots of mescaline, as you see. It takes a lot of root. These are the seedlings for your lettuces. And up here we've got chives growing.
So she's two stories.
2 stories. We've got cos lettuce growing at the top.
What's that called?
Cos.
Cos. What's
That's,
it?
that's a cos lettuce. They use it in the Greek salads, and a lot of people, I sell just as much as that as the normal lettuce. It's just a different flavour to it.
What are we going to spinach?
And under here we've got our spinach, which is very popular.
Yeah, no, it's
And these, I just pick the leaves. There's no spraying. I don't spray any of my plants. I just plant them, pick the leaves, and away they go. So we've got spinach here coming on, more spinach coming on, different costs at different stages up here. Another very popular item at the end here.
what's that called?
Pak choy.
Pak choy.
This is where you do your stir fries.
Oh yeah.
So that's your different bunches. Once again, it's all grown. Lovely, coming away. Next week they'll be ready to sell. So they take just about as long as lettuce.
Actually, I've got to say this looks like a huge job for you,
Why I need me coffee.
folks. This is amazing. This is the first time I've been here, and I've driven past heaps of times. I had no idea. So most of your product gets eaten locally?
All the product is just sold in Hokitika.
Yeah.
New World, the restaurant stompers, beachfront, get my product as well. The cafes around town get my product. So where you see the locally grown sticker in New World, that's me.
I know the shop opposite the dairy factory does, because I've
That's
I bought it
lots.
there.
Yes.
Spinach, isn't it got a rich green look about it?
Yeah, that's lovely.
And there's more.
There's more to come. Now we've got to see the lettuce and the pump house.
So Moots, what's in here?
So this is the heart of the beast. This is where all the action happens. This is our pump house.
What are we making? Whiskey?
We're going to make a whiskey big fry. So down here, if you look, this is our holding tank.
Yeah.
So that's where all the nutrients come from. So from here it's pumped to all those gullies, goes through there at 1 litre a minute, comes back into here where our computer system actually controls the beast. So water doesn't conduct electricity, but the more nutrients you put in the water, the higher that conductivity factor is. And on the left hand side you can see it's ranging at 10.
Is that good?
That's good. That's
Yep.
where you want to be. And the pH is at 6.3, 6.4. So every 3 minutes the computer will check those readings And if it needs more nutrient, it will automatically dose the system. As the plants feed, generally the pH will rise, therefore we put an acid mix, weak nitric acid and sulfuric acid mix into the system to keep it balanced at 6.3, where it takes up all the nutrients that you want. This is your concentrated nutrients here. Basically got nitrogen here,
Yeah.
and your B stock, which has got your 13 different trace elements that all plants need to grow. So depending on what plant you're growing is the amount of nutrient you put in the water. So for lettuces it's about 8 to 12 in winter. If you're growing tomatoes it could be up to 60, simply because they're big feeders, they need a lot of nutrients.
Where did you learn all this stuff?
Books. Self-taught basically, self-taught. Yep.
And so where does the stuff...
I buy it in a concentrated 20 kilo bag, and then you water it down to 200 litres.
Gotcha.
And that will last you that 6 weeks. And then you've got to make up another batch and away you go again.
And so this keeps you in those coffees that you have every day?
Well, half a coffee, I've
Well,
got a bead for the other half.
Yeah. So Mertz, this is another one.
Another one, I built this one just at the end of lockdown, so I finished this one off.
So what have we got in here?
So this is another flood and drain table, but we've got baby carrots. I sampled those and they sort of worked fine.
Yeah.
I got leek seedlings growing here. We've got fennel.
Yeah.
Fennel.
Recognise
Once
that.
again, feather peas by the mile. And feather peas and more fennel, coriander, baby spinach for the mescaline. We've got mint and more parsley.
And so this one here is making the little seedlings,
Yep.
getting ready to plant in the main.
These will be picked. You can see those are picked. These were picked this morning.
Yep.
And then that's composted down. That's cocoa fibre, which is coconut,
Right.
coconut husks,
Yeah.
and a bit of coffee beans, which I'm getting from Clock Tower. Seeing I can use my coffee twice. So that's a mix there, and
So-
that's what they grow it.
So
So we're
that's
not growing in dirt because dirt has bacteria, and you don't want bacteria because that's where you get root rot, and that's what's going to kill your plant.
So is it true that the reason you have that, you know, that big cup you've got for the
Right.
coffee, is it's a big cup? I mean, is
I've
it?
got to have 2 or 3 of them a day to make it worth me while.
But are you just trying to build up the stock
yeah, well,
of?
I've got to. I mean, he was running out, so I had to help him out.
Oh, you're a good man.
Yeah,
You're a good man.
I'm helping the community.
What's this one, Mertz?
So this is where we basically grow all of our large lettuces. These
Look at the length of this thing.
They're 30 metres long, 4 metres wide. So these are your main lettuces that you'll see in the supermarket, all nice and green, no deaths. These are your cost lettuces once again. And once again, they're all different stages of growth. So from what you saw there, those 3 benches, 3 of these benches will be sold per week, basically. More packed through, and once again, different wheat growing in there.
And so, and once again, all of it's gravity fed down to the other end, and it
Yes.
feeds back to the main
Back-
pumping station.
Back to the pump house where it's remixed, reused, and comes back in again. And then once a week, I dump a third of that nutrient
Yep.
and put fresh water in, and that just revitalises your mix again, and then away you go again.
Goodness me.
So
Yeah.
there's about 9,000 litres roughly in the system at any one time with the 2 pump houses that are operating.
Yeah.
During summer I'll go through about 1,000 to 1,500 litres of water a day, and that's simply the plants drinking
Yeah.
the water to grow.
Thirsty.
Thirsty little devils. And all the rain is captured from the roofs of the tunnel houses.
Oh, so you don't pump out of a creek or anything?
No, well the council's too stingy to bring us water out this far, so
I'm gonna-
we've got to capture it. you know.
I'll have to delete that one, folks. He's just given the council grief. This is, Mertz, this is unbelievable. I look, as I said, it's not a hobby. Goodness me.
And we've got another 2 of these large tunnel houses on the way that'll be built this year. So that'll bring us up to probably about 20,000 plants of
So-
lettuce growing at any one time.
So it's looking to me like you can grow most things here.
Yeah, well I'm looking this year expanding into permaculture, which is
What does that mean?
using worm castings. I've got a worm farm I've got up and running now.
Yeah.
and you're using that concentrated form of worm castings to enrich soil. So I'm using pea straw, and I'm going to be growing potatoes, carrots, parsnips, pumpkins, tamarillos I've got growing. There's going to be passion fruit as well.
Will tamarillos grow here?
Yes. Oh, I've got a tree out there, they're all fruited. Yeah,
Oh, for heaven's sake.
See, you don't know the coast very well, do you?
All I meant
Got a
to.
nice little ecosystem here.
I love it.
Greenie at heart.
Stop it.
Well, this is the other tunnel house that's ready. These lettuce seedlings that I planted out. This morning I finished this bench, so this bench is going to be cleaned with bleach. I run bleach down the gullies to kill any of the algae that's been growing.
Yep.
Clean the gullies and then replanted it again. So they are going to be planted with those seedlings you saw on that flood and drain table before. So these are plants that I'm picking at the moment. A little bit small because of COVID. You'll notice that there's a lot of products probably in the supermarkets that you can't get because when COVID lockdown happened, we growers stopped planting seeds because there was talk not opening until October. So for a month, 6 weeks, nobody sort of planted seeds.
So you got a gap.
So I've got a big gap trying to grow in winter as well, which takes twice as long to grow. So that's why you'll see some products are in, some aren't. So this is looking pretty grim for me. I'll probably won't be supplying the supermarket unfortunately next week. But just to let these plants grow on to get ready. So they're a good 3 weeks away before they're actually ready to pick.
Unbelievable. Well, look, Mertz, thank you so much for showing me around.
No, you're more than welcome.
I've got to say, I'm staggered.
Are you?
Yeah.
Here you go. See it? Not just a pretty face who drinks coffee all day.
We'll catch you later.
Good as gold, mate.